100. I will make that sacrifice.
Osamu refilled their cups, and the pair sat together in silence. Osamu's thoughts wandered aimlessly as he tried not to think about tomorrow. He had made tremendous sacrifices for the kingdom, but nothing quite like this. Yoshi was correct, of course. The kingdom was worth any cost, but rarely was the cost so high. Normally unshakable, Osamu was filled with dread over tomorrow's task.
Yoshi. Yes?
Do you ever wonder if you will have the strength to be as good a king as your father?
Yoshi smiled and stood up. Not often. Only with every breath I take from the moment I wake until the moment I fall back asleep.
Osamu grinned, knowing Yoshi would never see his reaction. Yoshi handed Osamu his cup back.
Get some rest, friend. Tomorrow is going to be a hard day.
Osamu sat with his commanders around a morning fire. The sun had just begun to peak above the horizon, and the day had dawned clear and cold. A part of Osamu had wished for rain to better suit the mood, but it wasn't to be. They had considered a night raid. If their target had been a more traditional one, such a strategy would have been a wise decision. But the warriors were attacking a village where many Nightblades lived, and their life force would be sensed from a distance no matter what time they attacked. At least, daylight meant a better chance of avoiding mistakes. All the commanders and Osamu turned to Yoshi as he entered the circle. Yoshi bowed and waved away the attention.
I know my father appointed this command to me, but we all know Osamu is leading us.
The commanders grinned at Yoshi's easy honesty, and Osamu thought they would be lucky someday when Yoshi became king.
The plan is simple in its design, but difficult in execution,
Osamu said.
Two Falls has its back to a cliff wall, and it's not particularly easy to reach. The Nightblades inside have begun very simple fortifications, but that shouldn't prove to be a problem. The latest report from our shadow inside tells us that the walls are just beginning to go up and are easily crossed. Commanders, you know where you're supposed to be attacking from. I want our first wave to wash over them in a heartbeat, fast and hard. I want the second wave ready to catch any stragglers. No one gets out of this village alive.
The commanders nodded, a grim look on their faces. Yoshi spoke up.
I know we are asking you to do a hard thing. The Blades have never had to attack their own like this before, and I hope they never have to again. You all agreed to come, and you know nothing less than the future of the kingdom is at stake here. First, from the depths of my heart, I thank you. Second, no one can escape. The village has women and children inside, many of whom aren't gifted. But no one can survive today. If you can't live with that, I understand. But I need to know now so that you don't put our kingdom at risk.
Silence hung around the circle like a noose. The men and women knew what they had agreed to. They were Blades, and killing warriors on the field of battle was what they had been raised from childhood to do. Now they were asked to end an entire village, to slay everyone, even those who could not fight. The kingdom may have been at stake, but it was still challenging to find volunteers willing to stain their honor for such a mission. Osamu gave the final few orders. The commanders stood and bowed and went to prepare their fellow Blades for battle. Osamu stood as well and laid a hand on Yoshi's shoulder. Yoshi turned to look at him.
I want you to stay with the second wave, Yoshi.
The prince shook his head.
You know I can't do that. Yoshi, I know you accept the risk to yourself, but I cannot. The kingdom needs you. You're a fine swordsman, but you're hopelessly outclassed here. Even an unblooded Nightblade would kill you.